Thomas. She's doing Project 3, which is focused on Get to the Point. Her talk is entitled, Where's the Bobber in Your Love Tank? She'll be speaking about how we communicate through one another's love languages and be introducing a special notion of the 5 love languages. Please give a big round of applause for Amy Evans.
Thank you, Mr. Hood. Gary Chapman originally laid out the 5 love languages as a way for spouses to build a more lasting foundation for their marriage after that initial love euphoria wore off. But happily, it has application to other relationships as well, because we all speak certain love languages. So what we're going to do today is identify what those 5 are. Thankfully, there's only 5, not 15, like some other personality inventories. Then hopefully you will recognize your own love language preference and be able to recognize the love language preference of people around you. Most significantly, perhaps your spouse or partner, children. The first love language, in no particular order, is quality time. Quality time does not mean, is perhaps more easily defined by what it is not, does not mean sitting in a room watching TV together. It does not mean going for a romantic dinner and looking at your cell phone the whole time. So quality time is an opportunity to get to know another person on a deeper level. Maybe you're weeding a flower garden together. I consider that to be quality time. So that is my primary love language. I really appreciate it when people take time to get to know me better, and when I get to take time and get to know other people better. The second love language is words of affirmation. So what that means is that you tell other people specifically what they do that means a lot to you and what you find value in them. So for example, you did a great job making that spreadsheet for me. It is so easy to use with all the color coding. I can get my job done so much faster, thank you. That's really specific, and it shows that they have value as a person. So that is really hard for me to do. It is my husband's primary love language. He likes to be told that I love him. I'm like, I told you that when we got married. If anything changes, I will let you know.
There you go.
He has resorted to just asking me if I love him, and I say yes. He does it about 5 times, and that covers it for a little while. The third love language is acts of service. This is pretty straightforward. It's like doing chores, things that take up time. Anybody can do it, but if somebody helps you, you get it done faster, and then you have time that you can spend doing something else that's more enjoyable. It is really hard for you to accept a language that is not your primary one. So for me, acts of service is kind of in the middle. It's not something I really go to. I definitely don't speak it to other people very often. It just doesn't occur to me. I'm more interested in getting things done than helping other people with, so people at work, for example, are great with this. They'll just be on their way downstairs to get coffee, and they're like, hey, I'm going downstairs, you need anything? No, I was working, thank you. So for me, it's really hard to speak that language. I have to be very intentional about it. But I know that other people speak that language because they're always asking me if I need anything so that they can speak that language to me. The fourth love language is gifts. This one seems pretty straightforward. It's like, yes, I would like some jewelry, something crystal ballish perhaps. But it's not just money and value, it is the thought that counts. So it means that somebody took time to know who you are and thought that you would really enjoy this, and they brought it to you. It could be a dandelion that your child picks for you from the yard, or some cutout snowflakes. Say, hey, let's party, just thinking of you. It's really simple and straightforward, and it's a lot of times a lot easier gift or a lot easier language to speak to other people if it's not yours. I like presents. Everybody likes presents. You know, here's a present. And the fifth one I can't remember because I've gone out of order. So there's quality time, acts of service, oh yeah, physical touch. Also very straightforward. So it could be, when I work with little kids, it can be ruffle their hair, rub their back, give them a hug, let them sit in my lap while we're reading the story. And that's the way that they feel valued and loved. So those are the 5 love languages. And hopefully while I was speaking to you, you kind of resonated with them. We all have all of them, all 5. We just prioritize them in different orders. So it's easy to recognize in other people and ourselves. The trick is, how do you speak to other people in a language that they will understand? That's the tricky part. So my husband, like I said before, his main love language is words of affirmation. But when I try to give him words of affirmation, it sounds really phony to me. Like, you're great. At least that's a good start. At least I'm trying. But it is really difficult for me. And he has a really hard time understanding what quality time means, because he's very efficient with his phone. Mr. Google, I call him. So one thing that you need to do with this person that you're trying to communicate and have a more deep relationship with is figure out what their love language is, so you can be intentional about speaking it to them. And you need to figure out how far apart your love language is from theirs. It could be that I'm speaking English and they're speaking Russian, or even I'm speaking English and they're speaking British English. So for example, here, crisp means all these things, but in Britain, crisp means potato chip. So, you know, it is like, oh wait, I knew that was different. One of the ways that we can make sure what our own love language is by taking the test that is in your handouts this morning. I hope that if you will take this test and maybe do some further research online, you can identify more strongly what your love language is and also how to speak it appropriately to other people.